decided we're going to have a do-nothing day. I was still working away at my other job, my full-time job during the day job, and the kids were doing nothing but watching videos all day and eating popcorn and drinking milk, and that's all they wanted to do. And you know what? I'm actually pretty kind of cool with this, and I'm going to tell you why, and this is why I want to loop this into what I'm talking about. So, I know that a lot of us, or all of us actually, sorry, have experienced such a dramatic change in life. And I'm not just talking about COVID, I'm talking about the death of a loved one to you. Most of us here are probably widows or widowers who have lost a spouse, but if you are here because you've lost another significant other, that doesn't mean that you're any less significant. Your grief is grief. Everybody grieves differently, but it's still very painful, and we're all here to protect each other and support each other. Now, having been going through grief and going through COVID at the same time is a double whammy. It's freaking horrible, and especially if you're brand new to this, it's not to say that's a good thing to be seasoned, but you're in a tragic space, dudes. I mean, you're dealing with the world going through craziness, with the lockdowns, with the terror, and your own grief at the same time, and trying to figure out what on earth to do next. And anybody who has been a griever for longer than this year, some of you have been grieving for a year, 2 years, 4 years, I'm here at 6. It does get easier. The grief is still with you, and you're still working through it, and it still can hit you, and still, again, going through COVID is not a fun thing, especially if you're alone and it's just you trying to deal with the world, and it's changing, and you don't have your support person here anymore. So, what I want to talk about is that it's today is an example of exactly what I want to talk about. Actually, it's it's so easy to have all of these ideas and these goals that you want to do that means that you have to make sure that you're the best parent, or make sure that the kids get to school on time, or to make sure that you do all your administrative things properly, or good God, I actually had to go to the office today and I can't even think properly because I woke up thinking about my husband or my wife, and all I could think of was their smell, and I couldn't function anymore. When you get to that point, at any point, I mean, you know yourself best. I don't know what stage you're at in your grief, but you know when you've hit a tipping point. If it's now, if it's tomorrow, if it's the next day, the important part is that you need to be able to reach into yourself and say, do I have any reserve left at all to go forward? If you're new to this, you are probably fighting this on a daily basis, which is why you have to keep re-examining it. Even if you've had this on for a little longer, you also have to keep remembering to re-evaluate and come back to yourself. Today, it was the idea that I was supposed to be homeschooling my kids, and which really means that I'm supposed to be doing conference calls with them, being over their shoulder, helping them with their math or their reading, making sure my younger daughter is actually participating in her class as opposed to just drawing, which is good, but participating would be good, and working on a conference call of my own on my day job, which is it was really too much. And I knew that last time we went through a lockdown, which was last March, I went for 100 days solid of being the only parent and tried to do all of this. They didn't have homeschool at that point. They were just home with me, but I was still trying to deal with them and working at the same time and grieving the fact that the world is now completely changed and people are dying, and oh my God, I can't go outside because the virus is out there and going to kill me, and I already lost somebody who's dead, and I can't lose me or my kids or anybody else out there, so I have to make sure I'm okay. So anyway, we got through this back in March. Now we're in lockdown, and we're higher numbers than ever have before. I'm stressing out. I know that last time I went through 100 days on my own, and I almost lost my mind. Like, I didn't realize how close I was to mentally breaking down until my mother finally was able to, and take my kids away, and I had an afternoon to myself where I did nothing. I went to go for a walk, I went to a park, I read, and it was glorious. It was glorious. Now I can see this happening again now. It's only been a week and a half, and I'm already starting to see the cracks coming. And I'm like, nope, nope, I'm going to stop this now. Don't want to, I don't want to fight you. You don't want to go to school, you don't go to school. You're going to eat popcorn, you want to watch your videos, whatever. And that was important. That was important because I knew that the level of stress and mental stress that was given to me and my kids and the whole entire household, and we're feeding off of this. It was so important to say, you know what? I don't care what the expectations are. We are going to cut this down. We got self-care. You guys need a mental health day, and so do I. Even if I have to be working, at least I don't have to be taking care of you guys. This is what's very important for you to take advantage of. You know you. Now, you might be in a situation where I was back in spring, where you are your own life and your own day-to-day that you don't even realize that you are about to break. And that is very possible because it is, again, very new and you're going through stuff you've never had to deal with before. I'm going to tell you now, take a break. Take a break tomorrow. Take a break the next day. Take a break. Schedule a break now. Get your mom or your kids and your babysitter or whatever you can. I'm not sure what the COVID situation is in your house right now, but take your kids, get them out of your house. You take care of yourself for the day. Okay? And that might mean that you are writing in a journal. That might mean that you are taking a bath. That might mean you're going for a long walk, socially distanced. That could be that you go down to the beach, you go through a park, or you just do whatever you wants to do, okay? But you, again, this is whether you're a new griever or whether you're a griever for a while now, you still need to take those breaks, okay? If you're a new widow, then you probably don't realize it. If you're an older woman, an older widower, you probably also don't realize it because you're just so used to doing daily grind and you're working through it, you know what you're doing. I'm telling you, you gotta stop. You gotta slow down. You gotta say, hey dudes, I gotta take this time for me, okay? You are the most important person right now, okay? And I mean that. Your kids rely on you. You don't have anyone else to rely on anymore. Not the way you could before. You had your best friend, your soulmate, your love for life taken away from you, and you don't know how to deal. Whoever that is, who's important to you, they're gone. And you can't rely on them anymore, which means you can't go to somebody else and say, hey, I need your help, support me. You gotta do that for yourself, okay? And I've mentioned this before, and it's an analogy which is so true, but the idea of you're in the airplane, and the airplane's going down, and their oxygen masks are falling down, and you got your 2 kids beside you, or your 3 kids, your dog, whatever you got, what do? You take that oxygen, and you put it on you before you go to your kids. Because if you can't breathe, they're not being taken care of. If you can't take care of yourself, if you can't check into yourself now and again because you're the only person who's able to do that right now, then do. Check in. If you don't know, if you're not sure, then take a break. You need to get out of that whirlwind. You need to get yourself out of that situation, out of that mindset, and reset. You are the most important person right now. Now, if you have the opportunities or the availabilities out there to have coaching or for counseling or for any kind of group support, I highly recommend you do that, okay? And this is why I created this group. Sorry, it's my cat. He wants to go outside. He's very loud. This group is why I created this, okay? Because I know that it's really difficult to do this on your own, and you're not the only one. I mean, I've gone through this. I'm still going through it. Everybody here in this group is going through it. And we're all here. You guys got through yet another day in your grieving, in your new life, even with COVID. And I'm here for you, okay? You're not alone. Bye.